Hey, what's up? I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and in this video, let's talk about the comic books that I'm hunting in 2022. Now, recently I did a video that a lot of people seem to like. It was basically about how to stop wasting money in comic books, and one of the tips that I gave, or kind of the general theme of that video, is to try to kind of create a list or downsize what you're looking for to a specific set of comic books to kind of help focus your collection. So in the spirit of doing that, I'm going to share with you the list that I'm looking at to collect in 2022, the comic books that I'm hunting. I'll give you my top 10, kind of get a sense for the things that I try to collect as a collector. One general theme in this video is that I've significantly lowered my sights. There's still some really nice books on this list, but I'm not looking at some major keys. The thing I've kind of realized after 2020 and 2021 is that a lot of those books are going to be out of my reach for a while. So I'm going to need to save up for multiple years to go after them. So instead of, going after like one big book a year, I'm going to go after some kind of medium books and then set my sights on larger books a couple years down the road. All right, so I'm going to start the list at number 10 with a book that's from one of my favorite runs. There's going to be a lot of repetition in this particular list because there's stuff that I like to collect, and it's mostly Marvel. Spoiler alert. So number 10 on the list is X-Men 40. If you guys don't know, I'm collecting an X-Men run, so good luck to me. X-Men 40 kind of continues a tradition that I started last year, where I decided, hey, it'd be kind of cool if I pick up the comic book that's the same number as my birth year. So last year I turned 39. And so I got X-Men 39, which is a great Cyclops cover. So that kind of seemed perfect. This year is X-Men 40 because I'm turning 40. That's right. I'm turning 40. Yeah, I know. I'm basically dead. And if you're younger than me and you're watching this, I don't want to hear about it in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. Age is just a number, right? So X-Men 40 is going to continue that tradition. I think that was a really cool kind of fun thing to do. I can't wait to do it again this year. So around September time, you'll be seeing me pick up a copy of X-Men 40 if everything goes well. Okay, at number 9 on the list, let's look at an Amazing Spider-Man book. This is Amazing Spider-Man 328. Spider-Man 328 is definitely a kind of a classic McFarlane cover from this era. This is a lot of people think that Spider-Man's punching Hulk somewhere that I don't think he is.
They call you knocker. Actually, there's a funny story behind that. You're gonna love this. True story.
I think he's punching him in the stomach, but anyways, besides that, I think this is a cool cover, and I can see this easily going the way of some of the other McFarlane covers, like some of his Incredible Hulk stuff. This having Hulk on the cover, this having Spider-Man on the cover, two characters that McFarlane was very famous for at Marvel. I have a feeling that this book is going to climb over time. May as well get it now since it is one that I want in the collection. So let's do this on the list at number 9. Okay, at number 8, we have Airboy number 5. Airboy 5 is a really fun cover. That's the only reason I want the book, is it's just a classic Dave Stevens cover. Can't go wrong with that. Great Chuck Dixon story too, from what I'm told. I actually have never read the Airboy series, but this is a cover buy for me. I think some of the covers from this time frame, especially from Dave Stevens, they're just art. They're just great art, and why not add this one to the collection? So this one's getting added in 2022. I'm pretty sure that's one of the lower dollar books on this list. So hopefully I can find this one for a good price, good condition, that kind of thing, and get it in the collection. One of my favorite characters is Power Girl. So next up on the list at number 7 is Showcase 97. And that is one of the key issues in the origin of Power Girl. Now I already have Power Girl's first and second appearances in fairly good condition. So I'm kind of covered there. I have a lot of her modern stuff that I really care about. So now it's time to kind of set some sights on some classics, and that's where her origin issue comes in. So let's add that one to the collection as well in 2022. Okay, we haven't had an X-Men book on the list in a while, so let's change that. Let's look at a fantastic X-Men book. Chris Claremont, John Byrne, Alpha Flight, everything you love. I do have a signed copy of Alpha Flight's first cameo appearance, or first appearance in general, in X-Men 120, but I don't have a copy of X-Men 121. So I'm looking to add one of those to the collection in 2022. Probably won't be signed by Chris Claremont, or probably not even John Byrne, but hey, still looking to get one in the collection, and that'll be fantastic to round out my kind of major Alpha Flight first appearances. I do have X-Men 109, I have X-Men 120, I have Alpha Flight 1. Kind of most of the major Alpha Flight stuff is covered there, so it'll be nice to kind of finish up that kind of sub collection, if you will. Okay, number 4 on the list. This is a book that's kind of on here for spec purposes. This is Amazing Spider-Man 124, the first appearance of Man-Wolf. That's a character that I have strong feelings will show up in the MCU at some point. why not pick up a copy now and just watch it go up when that character appears? Worst case scenario, everyone's going to look for a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 124 for their Spider-Man run when they're looking to complete it. So it's going to do nothing but climb as Spider-Man continues to become a more and more popular character as time goes on. So this is kind of a can't lose book in my opinion. I'm hoping to find one in kind of any grade. I'm okay with that. Preferably probably like a 3.5 and above, but we'll see how things go. And luckily this is a book that I think most collectors have kind of shifted off for the moment. So we'll see how things go. But I have a feeling that Man-Wolf could be coming to the MCU sooner than we expect, with a lot of horror, Moon Knight, Blade, all this stuff coming into the MCU. I think we're going to see more and more horror. And with J. Jonah Jameson in the MCU, there's a good chance we could see Man-Wolf eventually sooner rather than later. Number 3, we're going back to the X-Men. This is another X-Men book, and this is X-Men 50. This book absolutely exploded in value in 2020. My hopes of going for a mid-grade copy are probably shattered. I'm probably gonna have to go for a low-grade copy. This classic Steranko cover is the first cover appearance of Polaris. It's actually not even the first appearance of Polaris, but it is definitely the book that everybody goes after. I think the cover alone sells this book. So this is definitely one that I'll have to try to find a good deal on, maybe sneak in at the last second on an eBay auction. If one or two books slip from this list to next year, they're going to be the ones at the top of this list. And this is definitely possible with this book, but I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed. You know, maybe everybody kind of goes one way and zigs and I can kind of zag. That's my hope for this book. So we'll see if I can pick it up this year. Number 2 on the list is probably going to end up being the most expensive book on the list. This is Batman Adventures 12. If you're not familiar, that's the first appearance of Harley Quinn. Now, this is kind of an out of DC continuity appearance of Harley Quinn, but it is her first appearance in a traditional comic book. She does appear in a kind of smaller sized storybook that some people look at as her first appearance. But for my money, I'm going to go for Batman Adventures 12. And this is a personal collection book. So I'm looking for this book in any grade. A lot of collectors get really serious about the grade of the comic book. They want the highest grade possible. I'm willing to forego that for expensive books. I'd rather have it in the collection and then maybe later down the road worry about getting a better copy where I can always, you know, a comic book like this, I can always turn around and sell that other copy for something. So probably more than I paid for it, to be honest. So if I ever do upgrade in quality, that'll be great. I'm looking for any quality on this book. I do think that with all the Harley Quinn stuff that's kind of happened, if there's going to be a year to buy this book in the next few years, I feel like it's now. We don't have her coming out in a Suicide Squad movie. There's no solo movie planned. There's no, I mean, her TV show's been on for a couple years. It's not really going to keep generating new buzz. She's an extremely popular character though, so I might have a hard time picking this one up. We'll have to see. It's going to be a long shot. You know, I never thought I was going to get a New Mutants 98 last year, but I did. I think of Deadpool and Harley Quinn kind of in similar veins. They're both younger, popular. Well, not even younger at this point, but they're younger than Golden and Silver Age characters that are very popular for their respective publishers. So I'm really hoping to find a copy of Batman Adventures 12 this year. If I strike out and we're getting near the end of the year, I think I might throw in a last minute substitution, kind of a Hail Mary here, and see if I can pick up a copy of the Harley Quinn #1, which is her first appearance in DC continuity. So I would accept that as a consolation prize if I can't figure out a way to get this book at a price I can afford. We'll see how it goes. Okay, #1 on the list. What is it? Well, if you know me at all, it's going to be an X-Men book, and this is definitely no exception. The comic book that I'd like to find at my #1 spot this year, I'm hoping it dies down a little bit. It definitely heated back up last year. This is X-Men 101. I have faith that it could, because there's not any reason to expect this character to really have a huge push. And I'm speaking specifically of X-Men 101's kind of main reason for it to be collected is it's the first Phoenix. Not the first Jean Grey, it's the first Phoenix. So if you're really looking at it that way, you know, we've had a couple terrible movies. I've already said before that I have a feeling this book's going to kind of die off a little bit because it got extremely hot a few months ago as we started to see a lot of that Claremont stuff really heat up after X-Men 94 went through the stratosphere and became unattainable. But I say a few months ago, I'm really talking more like a year ago at this point. So I'm hoping that this one has a chance to kind of settle back down to earth. That's kind of a bad Jean Grey joke there. If you don't know, she dies in a shuttle explosion, and that's kind of what jumpstarts the whole Phoenix deal. But anyways, so yeah, I'm hoping to get a copy of this. It's really kind of out there. Again, I'll be looking for a low grade. You know, you hear the expression every once in a while in the community, low grade's better than no grade, and that's what I'm going to have to hope for here. So on the Phoenix, hopefully I can rise from the ashes and pick up a copy in sometime in 2022. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of comic books that I'm looking for in 2022, and there's even more. There's just this giant list I have of comic books that's kind of like, you know, basically I like to have a big list of comic books, and if I see it at a good price, or if I'm, you know, justifying my time digging through boxes at a comic book shop, I want to have some stuff I'm looking for. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, there's a couple things I'd love to ask you to do. One is I have a Discord. You can go join the conversation over there. I do have a link in the description below. If you want to help out the channel and you're looking for some comic book supplies, you can head over to Gemini Comic Supplies and pick up your comic book mailers, your long boxes, your short boxes, all kinds of cool products over there. I do have a link in the description below for that as well as a discount code. If you want to save money on comic books, Dangerous Waters Comics and more, as at dangerouswaterscomics.com. You can save with the code BRONZE10. That's in the description. And I'm excited to announce one more discount that is being added, and that is for cleaning and pressing services through Turlock Comics, which you'll be seeing a lot more of on my channel. If you want to save some money, you can get regular comic pressing for them. It is $20 for any comic from any era. For $15, you can get a comic book pressed if you use the code BRONZENUTS. If you want to take advantage of that offer, go hit up Turlock Comics on Instagram. There is a link to that profile down in the description below. DM them and get yourself set up. If you send in 10 or more books, that price actually drops down to $12 per book, which is a fantastic deal. And they offer incredible cleaning and pressing services. I've seen some of the results. You're going to be seeing a lot of the results on this channel pretty soon, and it's pretty exciting, guys. I'm really happy to offer this service from them. If you're looking for a good cleaner and presser, definitely hit them up. Okay, now that this shameless self-promotion's over, let's wrap this video up. Thanks for watching this one, guys. If you want to do me another favor, leave a comment down below and tell me what comic books you're hunting in 2022. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, I want to remind you, as always, hey. Read comics every day.